Yo, welcome back to my Super Auto Pets meta report with the last part, part 3. Did you just skip the first two? Get the fuck out of here and watch the first ones, you wouldn't understand a word. Okay, with that out of the way, finally, let's talk late game. So in my eyes, the mid and late game phases are definitely more connected to one another than the early and mid game. With some strats, you already have the core unit for your late game and basically only want to switch out your supporting units like giraffe, monkey, units like that. But let's have a look. First, I want to present to you the last strat type, which we didn't really talk about yet. The spawner strat, which is actually really strong. The spawner strat doesn't really care what you've done in the mid game. As soon as you hit a turkey in the shop, you want to think about pivoting towards it. And as soon as you hit a fly, you're basically set. Your lineup ideally will look like this: fly, tiger, turkey, a spawner unit like spider, rooster or deer, and a flex slot like scorpion. I have talked about mid-game flex slots in the last video, but at the end of this one we will have another look at late-game flex slots, so hold tight. The tiger here provides a lot of value to the turkey buff and is not actually as much as a flex slot as you might think. Those flies otherwise wouldn't have any impact to the game. Prioritize leveling fly and turkey and you're pretty much set. Thank me later for your first 10 win, Marty. Now picking up the strats from the mid-game. Let's start with Dodo. As I already said, you want to keep your main core units, which are Dodo and Rooster, in your lineup, and switch out the supporting units and maybe also your flex slots for better ones. And we will go over late game flex slots in a minute, so bear with me. You can also, by the way, think about playing Fly, Turkey, Dodo, Rooster flex slot, but without the tiger in there, the turkey won't actually put too much buffs out. This is not as strong as it seems. You are probably better off with any late game flex slot. But keep in mind, this build doesn't need a drastic change for the late game. I would switch out units like crab, monkey and giraffe, stuff like that, but this build stays quite intact most of the time. By the way, if you don't find an early rooster in your mid game, you can actually think about going leopard instead and level that one up. This one doesn't go for stats, but for control. You would then prioritize flex slots like skunk, dolphin and croc to beat your opponent before that fight even starts. Next one, cycling. If you find yourself playing the cycling strat in the mid game as I described, you gotta get out of shrimp and swan soon, because the stats of these won't cut it anymore. Only keep them if they have gotten really huge. Replace them with any late game flex slot value unit and you ride on your dog towards victory. By the way, if you pick up a dragon, you can keep on cycling. I would actually advise you to do it. I think many players actually sleep heavily on the dragon. Just try it out and thank me later. Next up, buses. If you are playing buses as I described, it's pretty easy for you to pivot into spawner with turkey and fly as mentioned a second ago. If you don't want to play turkey and fly, you can think about adding an early snake here to replace the kangaroo if you still have one. A snake behind the whale, which devours a deer, proves to be quite valuable as you will get at least 3 triggers off of the snake. If you then put a tiger behind that snake, I will erase you out of my memoirs and you will burn in hell, but if that's fun to you, go ahead. Overall though, keep in mind that your power level is not that high. The whale and deer combo has no huge stats in the late game, and if you win, you probably do it because of tiger, snake or shark. Last fun tip with this, leave one space just open and put a mushroom on the deer, so you got something like tiger, turkey, whale, deer with mushroom. That's actually more fun than my very own bouncy castle in the backyard. You will at least have a lot of fun while losing, because it's unfortunately not that strong. Next up, Hedgehogs. Like I mentioned, Hedgehogs power levels fall off quite fast in the late game, so if you want to not pivot out of it, force something like tiger, blowfish and as many hedgehogs as you want. You will probably on spawner and maybe on rooster stuff as well, but you will straight up lose against one single big bison or something like that. You are probably better off just selling your hedgehogs completely and pivot into something else, which doesn't need as much setup like fly, tiger, turkey. But correct me on that if you like. What's your way to go with hedgehogs in the late game? How would you play this one out? Let me and others know in the comments below. And lastly, Bison, Hippo, Rhino builds. These builds have one strong and highly buffed core unit and only need valuable flex slots and supporting units. Tiger, snake behind a strong hippo, rhino or bison can work wonders sometimes, for example. But how much you pivot out of your mid-game lineup when you're getting into the late game is completely dependent on the actual power levels and individual strength of your given units. That's why, as my last talking point, I want to present to you my late game flex slots. I already mentioned skunk, dolphin, crocodile, scorpion and seal. But you want to actually have them listed here as well, as they will provide you with great value in the late game too if you have space for them. But on top of that, only take cat if you still plan on buffing your core unit or units with shop food. But if you plan on doing so, the cat will save you a lot of money. The leopard by itself can be valuable as well, but it needs a few buffs to really pop off. If you have money left for food and a slot left, the leopard is a nice addition. The mammoth though is probably the one unit which you can place in your lineup and just not worry about. Especially with a mushroom on it, it will provide you with huge amounts of stat buffs which you really will need. And lastly, the tiger is always worth a thought. If one of your units have an effect in battle, the tiger can make a great strat busted and extremely fun. And that's about it, honestly. I will leave you with one question though. How the f are you supposed to get the gorilla going? I just can't get it to work, man. You get it so late and have to invest so much into it to get its effect to pop off. So that I just always think, this shit, a melon is as useful as this piece of shit. Have you got the gorilla going yet? Let me know how, please. Oh, by the way, and do you think I missed the strat? I mean, I'm super fucking smart frog and it's really unlikely, but if you actually think I missed a viable strat, please let me and others know in the comments down below. The frog from the future here. First off, I got a new mic. How cool is that? We can do ASMR now. Oh, and also, your favorite frog is getting married to his favorite frog this week. So please be aware that my upload schedule will be a bit lackluster for a short amount of time, I think, as we are on our well-deserved honeymoon. As soon as we're back, I will go at it again with a tighter schedule. Also, thanks a lot for the amazing support on my videos lately. This honestly means quite a lot and this is so much fun for me and I hope for you too. So enough of this cheese man, get the f out of here and stump all these noobs who didn't bother to watch these videos. As always, if you like this video, never tell me or your friends, and also please never share this around. Also, please make sure to not like this video. If you want to see more content like this, definitely don't subscribe to my channel and never check out this video displayed over here. See you in the next video. I'm out.